So what happens is that you prospect in this itty bitty market, which might only have, let's say, 100 industrial buildings total, and maybe 6 sell every year. And it's like, okay, or 2 to 6 sell. 2 to 6% is very common across the board, right? 1 to 6%, 2 to 6%. So it's like, okay, you have 100 properties in your market. 2 to 6 of them sell every year. Even if you were to get somebody on the phone who is interested in possibly selling, you only have 3 people to reach out to. And if none of those people want it, what are you doing? What I try to do is the following. One, I want to do market expansion. So I want you to be looking at Irvine as part of your market, not the entire market. What county are you in? Right, Orange County?
Yeah, Orange County.
I actually met my wife in Irvine, funny enough. She was living
Oh,
in
nice.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you know the market a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. What you'll do is that I want you to think about Irvine being a part of your market, but I would at least go countywide, minimum
Okay.
countywide. Okay?
Okay.
There's just not enough product in a city. You know how fast you could call, even if it was 1,000 industrial buildings?
A couple days, maybe. Something
Right?
like that.
Exactly. Like a
Yeah.
couple days, maybe a week. Right? I'm not saying you're going to speak to everybody, but it's
Yeah.
going to be quick. Right?
Yeah.
So you got to expand your market, one. And
Okay.
two, I would also very, very lucrative opportunity here, right? So if you just take, I'm going to walk you through this one, so I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
So if you take Orange County as a whole, you can see here that there's 92,000, almost 93,000 properties. But the second I start making some adjustments, okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to go to property type, industrial.
Okay.
We're going to go to owner with a phone number, and then something that hasn't sold in the last 5 years, so you actually can consider selling it. You only got 2,500 properties here. And I haven't even started to sort by anything crazy. And it's like, if you look at what has sold within, not within, I apologize. So you have 10,000, which is much better. But look, this is what I wanted to show you. So sold within the last 12 months, only 430 industrial buildings sold in the last 12 months in your market. Last 2 years, 900, which basically means 955 properties or so are selling every year. Now, call it 450 properties are selling a year. Last 12 months has been a little bit under average. If you look at the last 5 years, you can see that a little over 500 properties per year are selling. That gives you your market right now. And you can see that you're a little bit slow right now. And that every quarter you should be selling something like 100 to 125 properties a quarter. Right now, in the last 90 days, you're at only 75. So you're averaging 300 properties being sold in the next 12 months. So you can clearly see that things are slowing down a little bit, right? So it's like, okay, well, if we do not within the last 5 years, you have 10,000 industrial buildings. Now, let's actually look at stuff that probably we'll consider selling. You know, like obviously stuff that we're going to want to try to sell, which is like 5,000 feet to like 50,000 feet. This is like sub-institutional product. This is, like anything over 100,000 feet is probably going to get gobbled up by institutions. Like this is like mom and pop, clean, simple, everyday, all day stuff. I also would look at things that, let's say, originally didn't sell for over $10 million. Because if they sold for over 10 million, the odds of you selling it again, it's just, they overpaid once. Most people are not going to overpay again, especially in this market. So it's like, okay, your market right now is 2,800 properties. This is like, and then I still haven't sorted by much. What I would do here, and so this is your market. Now I'm going to show you how to prospect for buyers because this is the important piece. You're going to basically flip it backwards, right? So you're going to do sales within the last 2 years. You can ignore sales price because it doesn't matter. Building square footage we're going to keep. But what you're going to do is we're going to do person, okay, and properties in their portfolio at minimum 3. And then we're going to go to owners tab at the top. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to show you every single person that you should be best friends with. Yeah, this literally just gives you every single person that you should be calling, that you should be connecting with, right? On a very regular basis. Every single one of these people, right? Because all these people own a bunch of properties in your market. And what you can even do here is you can sort sales within the last, I meant to say within the last 2 years, within the last 2 years. Here you go. So these are all very active buyers in your market. I apologize. Yeah, these are the active people. They all bought something within the last 2 years, last acquisition date, last 2 years. Pink is industrial, so you can see that their portfolios are mainly right? So these are going to be the people that, you got 3 lists of 100, you got 117 here, 114 owners. You should be calling every single one of these people and figure out, again, you want to have at least 10 of these people who are on your list. That you have their direct line, you have their email, and you have exactly what their criteria looks like. Because you can clearly see it's like, okay, well, somebody who owns 12 to freaking 94 industrial buildings, those people you want to know. These are going to be the people who you're obviously going to be trying to sell these buildings to, just in case your broker owner team leader doesn't want it. Now, this is what I'd say would be number 1 priority on your list right now. Pull this list, call this list. Because what you want is you want to call every single person on this list and say, hey, look, I work with XYZ Real Estate. I come across a lot of off-market properties that I think would meet your criteria. I know you own a bunch of stuff in XYZ, an XYZ area. I primarily focus in Orange County, as you own a lot in Orange County. And just curious if I was able to find a property similar to the one that you have if I could find a property similar to the one that you have on 5th Street or Coronado Street or whatever, right? If I can find a property similar to X, would you be totally against taking a look at it, right? No. I would love to take a look at it. Okay, great. Tell me more about what you're looking for. What's your square footage you look for? What's the ideal location for you? What's your ceiling heights? How do you need drive-ins, dock doors? What kind of power do you need? The whole nine. Do you need any excess land? Right? Are you occupying it? Are you investing in it, or are you treating it as an investment? And get as much information as you can. This way, when you find something, when you pull the other list we just talked about, I can just bring it to Bob. I can just bring it to Sal, whoever. Very simple. Because you need those buyers to allow you to burn and churn deals fast. Because the last thing you want to do is be in a position where a lot of people are. Let me go back to this list. Imagine you're prospecting really heavily, right? Not with property here. I would even say properties. I would start by calling a list that hasn't been sold in 20 years. When they last sold, they sold for sub 5 million. They sold for a great price per square foot, under 100 a foot. Let's see here. Industrial, 550,000 person. They can have way more than 3 properties in their portfolio. Let's actually say they can only have 2 properties in their portfolio. Sorry. They only have less than 2 properties in their portfolio because they're looking to sell stuff, not looking to buy stuff. Great. So you start with this list, 344 properties in all of Orange County. You start with this list. This is the prospecting list. You call this list, you get somebody on the phone, and then no one wants it. You got nobody to sell it to. So even if you had a hot lead, the problem is that a lot of people don't want to list it for sale. So who do you bring it to? Oh, well, now I got to go find a buyer. Well, the point of this game is you want to have hot buyers and hot sellers. Put them together and do some business. So that's the lead generation strategy.